Hello, my name is Kyrylo Pyrogov, and the title of the article is Reflex Systems of Natural Language Processing in Educational Management Information Systems. So the first slide is an introduction. A characteristic feature of today the intensively development and implemented informatization processes in almost all spheres of human activity. They led to the formation of a new information infrastructure, which is associated with a new type of social relations and the use of information and communication technologies. It is proposed to take the theory of information interaction as a scientific and methodological basis for solving this task. Within the framework of this theory, not only the apparatus for forecasting the development of systems based on the interaction of people was created, but also the mathematical apparatus for the formalization of the soft component, also generated by human activity, was provided. The purpose of the work is to create, using the mathematical apparatus of the theory of non-force interaction, models, methods, and means of formalizing natural language information, on the basis of which it would be possible to create economically profitable, effective, simple, and competitive ICT systems for the management of the quality of education and educational management. This work is dedicated to the development of such a reflexive intellectual system. The next slide is related works. Education management information systems enable officials to be constantly informed when developing the foundation of state education policy and to make final decisions based on reliable information. Considering this, the requirements for the formation of educational databases are very high, because poor quality educational information can have far-reaching negative consequences, including the adoption of incorrect management decisions regarding the distribution of limited resources. In view of the above, the development of data information systems and their integration should be the basis of state management of the educational systems. Today, in addition to managing the development of complex systems, the theory is also used to manage enterprises, programs and projects, to build decision-making training systems, diagnose cardiovascular diseases, invoice control systems for technical devices, and others. That is why, by applying the mathematical apparatus of the theory of non-force interaction in the management of the soft components, it is possible to achieve the set goal. That is, it will be possible to obtain formal numerical models that will make it possible to make accurate forecasts about the result of informational influence and distribute information about the management of the quality of education to its addressees. The next slide is methods and materials. The effectiveness of the construction of means of automated management of the quality of education largely depends on the linguistic means of describing objects and management processes. Therefore, the adaptability and mobility of the languages of communication with the computer, the non-procedural character of this description of object and management processes, and the use of context and silencing are indispensable conditions for the rational construction of linguistic means. These requirements have a contradictory nature due to their orientation towards non-professional users, on the one hand, and limited possibilities, both theoretical and technical, on the other. The resolution of this contradiction is related to, with the division of incoming information flows into those that are formalized and accordingly require traditional dialogue software tools for the processing, and those that are difficult to formalize require significant cost for formalization. Using the results obtained in the theory of non-force interaction for the construction of natural language information and processing tools. In order to build effective information and communication systems and technologies for the management of the quality of education, according to the authors, it is necessary to carry out the following preparatory work: to study the object and situation in which the processing of natural language information is carried out. Choose a strategy, tactics, and means of processing natural language information. Determine the most influential forms of information representation and develop models and methods of their formation with the help of all available means of presenting proven information. To develop a system for analyzing the effectiveness of information provided and its correction in case of the insufficient action. So the next slide is experiment. You can see here the examples of this non-force theory. So this is the results. In figure 1, you can see here a scheme of calculating the amount of influence in reflex intelligent systems. So Here is the scheme of calculation of the certainty of reactions in the project relative to the effects of text clusters. So here you can see calculation of the additional probabilities that input text clusters bring to the intelligent systems and calculation of the total impact on decision-making managers or specialists who perform magical actions. So here you can see calculation of the new certainty of decisions in the management of the quality of education. So next slide is the discussion. On the basis of the proposed model, one of the options for the application of the reflex system of natural language information processing has been developed. You can see it on the figure 2. So, during the processing of input information in the system, natural language communication tools will be used for identification of the algorithm for solving the problem discussed in the natural language text, definition of the object and subjects of the management, setting a time interval, formal representation of the parameters of the problem to be solved, presentation of components of education quality management in the information base. With the help of the system, it is planned to solve a number of problems. Formalization of the natural language text or its part, selection of the necessary information from the database of the information communication system for education quality management and presentation in a user-friendly form, making changes to the information representation of components in the database, in particular parameters of works, risks, costs, executors responsible, etc. The system will implement 3 forms of interaction with the user: processing, text that is presented in the information base or obtained from external sources, for example from the internet, the user's input which is typed on the keyboard, users appear in oral language. At the heart of the system is a reflexive model or behavior in the operation environment, which is ambiguously interpreted and will contain a set of programs that provide an interface between the user, the information base, means of filling, the information base, the information retrieval system, and the educational quality management systems. So, the next slide is the conclusion. In the process of the study, it was shown that the mathematical apparatus of the theory of non-force interaction is quite simple and convenient for building natural language text processing systems. The used mathematical apparatus will be the basis of the system of discrete processing of the semantics of text in the management of the quality of education and educational management. In further work, it is planned to develop the structure and the algorithms of the specified systems and conduct in experimental verification in production conditions for the management of educational processes. The use of the developed new ICT will affect the development of the formed ICT environment, which is dynamic and open, which will allow to improve the process of management of educational institutions, improve the maximally direct their activities to increase the quality of education. The proposed model differs from the existing ones by identifying differences in the conditional probabilities of the appearance of message addresses as the amount of informational influence of fragments of natural language text, which made it possible to automatically determine the most likely addresses of the text. The developed technology meets the requirements for simplicity, is informative and easy to understand, and is minimally expensive. Its foundation is based on the models and methods of influence process management developed by the author, and the obtained result bring our state closer and closer to the creation of competitive ICT for the management of the quality of education and educational management, and bring us closer to the creation of full-fledged artificial intelligence. Currently, reflex intellectual systems solve various problems in the areas of human intellectual activity already today. Thanks for your attention.